Intro music.
Overview narration.
Oh, doctor!
My name is James,
My name is Joey.
and this is the Brothers Padre.
James, week 5 of baseball is in the books. Stuff is going well. We might have predicted accurately what happened this week.
Yes.
But before that, James, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right, Joe. I'm doing all right. I'm glad to see you still have your paperwork.
The fans have clamored for it, and I'm a man of the people, so I kept the paper notes. We got many emails. Thank you for those emails. And I'm keeping the paper notes. I'm keeping them. I'm keeping all the paper notes and my horrendous MLB.com printouts of box scores. That's going to ruin my printer in no time. But I got them. And James, shall we break down week 5 of Padres baseball?
The week of April the 30th? Yes.
Game 1, James, Friday, April 30th. The visiting San Francisco Giants came in to visit the San Diego Padres.
I'm so glad we don't do this professionally.
San Diego Padres. And James, what happens? The San Diego Padres beat the San Francisco Giants
Yay!
3-2. The San Francisco Giants had 2 runs on 5 hits and 1 error, and the San Diego Padres had 3 runs on 7 hits on 1 error. The winning pitcher, of course, was our very own ace, Yu Darvish. Brandon Webb took the loss, and the Shark, Mark Melanson, of course, got the save.
I think it was Darvish's best start I've seen all year.
Yeah, I think it was awesome.
He was dominant. He had 12 strikeouts. It was truly. Darvish has been our best starter all year, and we knew that going in he was going to be our best starter. But it was just good to see him just like take it up a notch to the next level. It was pretty good.
Darvish had 6.1 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, 3 walks, and 12 strikeouts. That will play. Yeah, so I think definitely it was
Any league.
Any of them. Super League, minor leagues, it'll play. Yeah,
Any era too. Like really.
I thought it was great. He allowed 1 home run, but that was it. Yeah, I thought very dominant start for the game, and I want to highlight this sequence to Tommy La Stella just to showcase how good Yu Darvish is. Tommy La Stella had no idea the whole game what Yu Darvish was doing. And Tommy La Stella steps up and sees 3 pitches on a strikeout. First pitch is a called strike, 80-mile-an-hour slider. Second pitch is a 74-mile-an-hour curveball. And the third pitch is a 95-mile-an-hour sinker. All called strikes. And if you're just guessing with Darvish, you're going to have a hard time.
Yeah.
You're going to have a bad time. So, yeah, I mean, worked around 2 tough innings, including a 6th leadoff double, and then struck out 3 in a row. And his 12 strikeouts were on a cutter, a sinker, a slider, a 4-seamer, sinker, splitter, slider, splitter, knuckle curve, 2-seamer, and then a knuckle curve. That's insanity.
Yeah, he doesn't. It's so great that he doesn't have a single out pitch. Like every pitcher has their out pitch, you know.
Right.
No, he has out pitches, and that's why you can't guess. Like, oh, it's gonna be it's a knuckle curve. No, like, especially because there's pitchers that only throw knuckle curves. That's what they're known for, and
Yep.
he just has it as like a side note.
Yep. Was anything crazy that happened later in the game, James?
There was a little bit of craziness, but nothing we couldn't handle.
Yeah. Tim Hill, bases loaded extraordinaire. Yu Darvish left, bases loaded, 1 out. And then in comes Tim Hill, who loves pitching this situation.
Yeah, if it's not pressure, why is he even in there?
There was Darren Ruff came up to plate. They got rid of Tommy La Stella and replaced him with Darren Ruff, righty. And Darren Ruff came within inches of hitting a grand slam. But Kim Hill gets the job done, strikes out Ruff, and then the new giant Mike Tauchman. Yeah. I thought it was a good game. It once again, a theme that's going to happen throughout this week. Our pitching saved us.
Our pitches, yeah.
Our pitching.
The Padres have the best pitching staff in baseball, certainly the best bullpen in all of baseball.
Yeah.
That's not even up for debate. That's it's just not.
Yep. Yeah, it was a good game. Eric Hosmer got a couple RBIs. Hosmer got 1 RBI. Profar got 2. A good, solid victory, James. Shall we move on to game 2?
Game 2.
The
First day of May.
It's gonna be May. Saturday. He just gave me. If looks could kill, I'd be dead 5 times. Saturday, May 1st, the year of our Lord 2021. The San Diego Padres welcome the visiting Giants.
Again.
I know, weird, right? And San Diego Padres beat the San Francisco Giants 6-2. Giants had 2 runs on 5 hits, and the Padres had 6 runs on 6 hits on 1 error. Mr. Blake Snell gets his first W as a San Diego Padre, and Mr. Hard to Spell, Anthony Discofani, gets the loss for the San Francisco Giants. James, any thoughts about this game?
Manny Machado's home run in the first was beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
I also thought this might have been Snell's best start of the year.
Did pretty well.
Like this is what we expected when we got Darvish and Snell. 2 Cy Young quality pitchers starting right after each other. Snell should have gotten a couple wins earlier in the season.
Yeah.
But he let himself down. And I think we've discovered the difference between a really good pitcher. Snell had a few problems in a couple of earlier starts where he would have big innings against him and he would just lose his cool. Clearly, he had a couple innings this game where Giants looked like they're about ready to score. He could have fallen apart, but he pulled himself together and he got out of the inning. Yep. I think we saw a level of maturity from Snell this game. He's more confident in his teammates. He's more confident in the pitching staff. Don't forget, he was. This was the first game Nola caught, and him and Snell looked like they meshed automatically. Mm-hmm. And it was good. It was very good. I think Snell. It just looked like he turned a corner.
Yep. Theme of this game also is going to this series is also good defense. We turned 2 double plays this game. We also had like actual timely hitting. We went 2 for 3 with runners in scoring position,
which is not the case usually for the Padres.
Yeah. The last game of the series, we had lots of cases. We still won. Spoilers, but yeah, we don't always get those chances and capitalize on them. But Manny Machado came up huge the first inning with a 3-run bomb. That was awesome to see. Tommy Pham just missed a home run. Must have been 6 inches. Like, it's the longest single of his career, I feel like.
He hit it so hard, and it was right on the top of the fence. It just bounced right back. That guy has had nothing but bad luck.
Yeah. Not good. Blake Snell, I think still had some troubles in the 5th, but he was able to work out of it. And yeah, I think it was all in all, like another good team win. We didn't really have crazy offense, which it's a theme around baseball. We talked about it in a previous episode. But
yes, check out our episode we released 2 days ago. We talk about why there's just no offense, right. And it just seems like everything is geared towards pitching nowadays.
But like I said, we did good. Tatis got a stolen base. So did Hosmer. I just think it was actually a fairly good game. Austin Adams came in, wild man, and just that guy's nuts, man. His slider is, you know when if you haven't played wiffle ball before, wiffle ball is really fun because you can figure out a throw pitches that have this crazy, right or left break depending on what your handedness is, and he looks like he's throwing a wiffle ball.
Yeah. Also, do you get the sense if Austin Adams wasn't a big league pitcher, he would be living out in the woods somewhere, skinning bears?
Oh yeah,
like he would just be like bear pelt all the time. Just like he He seems like he has more than one knife on him at all times. He should be friends with Tommy Pham and go out with him
Oh
and
my
protect him.
goodness. Oh my goodness, James. But with that, James, 2 out of 3 so far against the Giants. That's a series win.
And a series win because we didn't talk about the next game where we lost.
On Sunday, May 2nd, the San Diego Padres welcomed in once again the San Francisco Giants. I was on a date with my wife.
Good. I was like, what? Okay.
Normally the person I go on dates with.
Okay, good. Normally.
We lost, right? Because I was there. I'm 1-2 so far this season. You and you're 0-1.
Yes, that's true. Thank you.
So I just am at this place now. If I go to a game, I just lose. But that's baseball, baby. Because the San Francisco Giants beat us 7-1. The Giants had 7 runs on 5 hits, and the San Diego Padres had 1 run on 8 hits. I was standing in line, getting patted down, and I hear the fans go crazy. And I'm like, why did they go crazy? Oh, Fernando Tatis Jr. hit a home run. I'm like, this is going to be a fun game. Tatis starts the game off with a homer. This is going to be good. But baseball's a fickle sport, and Joe Musgrove just did not have it. Part of it probably was because he wasn't told until like late night before he was going to be the pitcher the next day. There is we'll find out later is there Lamet and Weathers' health is we're trying to figure that out, and so we didn't have Sunday could have been very well Lamet and then Weathers or Musgrove, and because it was up in the air, that could have thrown him off. He didn't have enough time to prepare. Blah blah blah. But it's the big leagues, you know. If you make mistakes, big leagues capitalize on them. And yeah, had a rough 3rd inning, 4 runs in the 3rd, 2 runs in the 5th. Does not have it, James. But
his first bad start of the year. Let's be honest.
Everyone has one.
Everyone has him. I mean, Clayton Kershaw was knocked out in the 1st inning by the Cubs the other day. So you know every starter is going to have those. Nolan Ryan had them. You know, every starter has them.
Yeah.
I still think Musgrove's in the running for Cy Young. Yeah. But I again, it was a bad start.
Yeah, and I still think we didn't give up. You know, I think it was their best pitcher. Kevin Gausman's a very, very good pitcher.
Very good pitcher.
So a struggling offense against a very good pitcher. Usually said result not good, and said result was not good. But we still played good defense. Machado made some nice plays. Profar made a nice diving stop in the outfield. And Tatis made some nice plays as well. So I think it was that the boys kept it in it, you know. But it was also a weird drizzly day. You don't play for the San Diego Padres and expect not drizzly, cold drizzly days.
Yeah,
damp.
We're not in Seattle. This is San Diego.
I brought an umbrella with the game.
That's because you're a wuss.
It was also raining. So, as previously mentioned by the previous sentence. But, James, that's baseball. Still won the series. You have any thoughts about the series before we move on, James? To the next series?
The Giants are a good team.
Yes.
Obviously, they're in first place currently. I think this series showed we are, in fact, a better team than the Giants We just have better all-around players. The Giants are a healthier team right now, hence why they're probably in first place. I just think it was just encouraging to see that we actually are better than the Giants.
Right.
This next weekend, we're going to be in San Francisco, so
we'll be visiting them.
We'll be visiting them. And so I'm confident going into this weekend that we're going to do better. We're going to continue to do well against them. There was nothing but encouragement this weekend because, yes, we lost one. Musgrove didn't have it, but you know what? I think he'll definitely turn it around. He's a great starter. Our offense didn't do that great, but nobody's offense is doing that great right now.
Yeah.
So all good things.
Yeah. It's a team sport. At the end of the day, which team holds together longest all 9 innings or 7 innings if a doubleheader wins the game. So, James, shall we move on to the series where we face the criminals of the Allegheny River, James, otherwise known as the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Do you make up these nicknames, or do you actually find them somewhere?
I made that one up.
Okay.
Straight from the dome, dude.
Right.
Up here, dude.
Right.
I'm percolating ideas. The Allegheny River, of course, is the river near PNC Park in Pittsburgh, and you see it in their very pretty ballpark. And pirates are criminals, hence the criminals.
Again, no, we all get the metaphor. I was just wondering.
The Pittsburgh Pirates visit the San Diego Padres at beautiful Petco Park, and the San Diego Padres shut them down 2-0. The Pittsburgh Pirates have no runs on 4 hits and 1 error. The San Diego Padres had 2 runs on 3 hits upon 1 error, James. And this game, of course, was started by Miguel Diaz. Remember him, folks? He was a pitcher for the Padres a while ago.
A long time ago.
And he had an opener, and he did his job because we had great defense. And so he got ground balls. He pitched 3 innings, allowed 1 hit, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. And then it was a bullpen game. Then Craig Stammen, old man Craig, long man Craig. Craig is, we've talked about this before, is actually better in positions where he pitches longer.
Yeah, when he knows he has to pitch 3-4 innings, he hunkers down.
Yeah.
He's not an emergency bases loaded type of a guy. Definitely like, okay, you're gonna go shut them down for 4 innings. Okay, I could do that.
The victor, Tim Hill, comes in for an inning, but before that, Austin Adams comes up and throws 3 insane sequences to 3 pitch hitters, and they all strike out. My bad. He allowed 1 walk. But 3 strikeouts, that's what he does. He just comes in and gets 3 strikeouts and goes home, checks out. That's what he does. Followed by Drew Pomeranz, and then once again, Mark Melanson gets the save for save number 10, James. Any other thoughts about this game?
I think Diaz did
There's
well.
one big one I left out.
What was that?
There's one big one that I left out about the Padres.
Okay, what was that?
About the game, about the Padres offense. Remember what happened in this game?
Let me look at the notes. Nola?
This is the game we were near no hit, James.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot.
It's hard doing these recaps. We have to jog our memory a lot. And when I rewatched the recap, I'm like, oh, we were nearly no hit this game.
Yeah. I mean, only until the 7th inning.
Hey, listen. You and I had a discussion yesterday. Mr. John Means, congratulations. Recorded the 3rd no-hitter this season.
4th.
3rd.
Well, Major League Baseball doesn't count Bumgarner's, but it's the 4th no-hitter.
Okay. Yeah.
We
will call it the 4th.
Bumgarner's because Major League Baseball made the rule that
Game 7 innings.
is 7 innings. That means the complete game for a no-hitter for doubleheader is 7 innings. He pitched a complete 7-inning no-hitter. That is a no-hitter. End of discussion, Major League Baseball. Get all of your together.
So you gave me this great stat yesterday. The most ever in history has been 9, but that was a dead ball era, 1883 or something like that.
Yeah, something like
we
that.
We don't count those. But basically, the most no hitters in a year, and it's in the modern era, quote unquote, has been 8.
Yes.
In the year of 93, right?
Yes.
So we are on pace to have 12. So I would have been super surprised if we got no hit because once again, no one's hitting, but we got out of it, James.
I would have been super surprised because the Padres have spent a lot of money and were supposed to have a really good hitting offense. And I would have been super pissed. Now, it's not like we were no hit by Walker Buehler.
Right.
This is some.
You can't disrespect Tyler Anderson that much. He's an
No.
he's an okay to good pitcher.
No, here's the thing about the Pirates. and Musgrove proves this. They somehow
and Garrett Cole.
And Garrett Cole. And Garrett Cole.
And Chris Archer.
Anderson could probably go to another team next year and be their ace.
Right.
The Pirates can develop really good pitchers. They just can't save them for hitting. Like it's just a weird dynamic over there in Pittsburgh.
Will Myers broke up a no-hitter in the seventh, thankfully, after Manny got a big, huge walk. Manny, even though he's quote-unquote struggling by his traditional stats, is still putting in great at-bats, still hitting the crap out of the ball, and draws walks for huge situations like this. And because of that, he went first to third. Bam, gets his signature warning track fly, sacrifice fly.
Every time he's at the bat, just dies in the warning track. It's just it. The stupid new ball, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to our previous episode. Yeah. We talk about the new ball.
Nola doubles in Myers. Bullpen and defense kept us in. Because what else? What else happened, James? This was the start of the Ha-Seong Kim trilogy. He plays 3 games this series, and he first one starts with at second base.
Yeah, he gave. Well, technically, they gave Hosmer a night off because Cronenworth was at first,
right?
And then the next game he gave Tatis Jr. the night off. Then he gave Manny Machado the night off. He did a good job at all 3 positions.
Incredible.
He's one of the, again. I said this before. He's the best defensive infield I think I've ever seen.
He's really good.
He's very, very good.
Especially when you consider he can play all 3 those positions well.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I let me rephrase. I like the fact they gave all 3 of those guys a rest.
Right.
We've had a really tough schedule.
Yeah.
I was literally on the way here. I was listening to Jim Rome, and they were interviewing Tony Gwynn Jr. and they were talking about how we're the only team in Major League Baseball that in the first 30 games have only played 2 teams under 500.
Bananas.
And the Pirates are sort of like at 500.
Right.
So every other team has had multiple games, multiple series with below 500
punching
teams.
bags.
We've played the leaders of division rivals, more than anybody else. So our schedule, if we had to say the Dodgers' schedule, we'd probably have a better record. But that's if, ands, or buts, but who knows? I think giving those are arguably our 3 best hitters.
Yeah.
Nights off. We're off day to day. We're going into San Francisco with 3 fresh guys. I think, and Myers had a night off at one point too, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So no, and so those are our 4 best hitters. Let's get them all nights off, get them extra rested, start into the San Francisco series a little bit fresher, maybe get some stuff started, and then go into the Thunderdome after that. Otherwise known as Coors Field.
Playing on the moon.
Just obnoxious.
Where nothing matters, everything goes out. Anyways, Kim had a great game, had a great infield catch at the first, in the second inning rather, to stop a run from scoring, allowing us to keep a shutout. James, shall we move on to Game 5?
Move on to Game 5.
If
we have to.
5, James. Oh, man, paper notes are the best. I don't care what you say, James. Game 5.
You lost it right. He lost his organization again on the paper notes. That's what he was just talking about.
I trained a new organization strategy this week. I was like, I'll remember it this time. Spoiler alert, I did not remember.
He did not.
Once again, the nefarious foes of the high seas come into town to face the San Diego Padres.
I apologize for my brother. He thinks it's funny.
Pittsburgh Pirates beat us 2-1 on 10 hits and 2 runs. And the Padres had 1 run on 4 hits and 1 error. They hit us a lot this game. This game, of course, was started by Dinelson Lamet for 2 innings on a short.
What was the end score again?
2-1?
2-1, yeah. So here's the thing about this game. You get the sense we walked in there thinking this was going to be a throwaway game. Dinelson Lamet and Ryan Weathers.
Especially after a honest-to-God bullpen game.
After a bullpen game.
Yeah.
Dinelson Lamet and Ryan Weathers have both been hurt. They're both. Lamet started the game, pitched 2 relatively good innings. He didn't allow a run. He did give up a couple of hits. He struck out a few. Clearly didn't have his best stuff. But also you got the sense he wasn't trying to throw his best stuff. He was just trying to throw to get the major league hitters. because usually when Lamet is throwing, like you could see steam come out of his nose. He's a real gamer. He wasn't pitching that way. Like they were just, you could tell they were like, all right, you're gonna keep your foot on the gas a little bit and just throw. Then he leaves and Ryan Weathers comes out and throws 3 pretty good innings. Gave him some hits. Same thing. None of them ever got past 93 miles an hour, and they're both well capable of doing that. They were just, okay, get your arms loose. You're going to throw to a couple major league hitters. See how it's like. What it's like. This was clearly a start to give our 2 other starters a chance to get back in the rhythm of major league pitching. And it was sort of like, if we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. And we lost. It was just sort of like this weird, clearly playing 162 game strategy. Let's get our 2 rotation guys back, which was good news. I think they're both going to make starts this week. I feel bad because they're probably both going to be in Colorado, and that doesn't do anything for anybody's confidence. Although slider pitchers tend to do better in Colorado.
Lamet, if his velocity's up, will be fine.
Yes.
Weathers, I don't know.
It's just, I hate to see our son get thrown into such a mean
I think he's
grinder.
just going to be. I think Weathers. We'll talk about the end, but I think Coors is going to be pretty unfriendly because he lets up. He has a lot of like short fly balls, and he gets a lot of like weak contact, and then weak contact in Coors is actually not great because people play the outfield because it's the size of Colorado in the outfield. So
Yeah.
it's
No, it's Coors Field is always a joke. But let's move. Let's not talk about that now. We'll talk about this game. This game, I think we only gave up 2 runs. We had 10 hits and 2 runs. That shows that we a lot of jams, but our pitchers pitched out of jams. Our offense again didn't get done, but neither did Pirates. Honestly,
yep.
it just felt like a throwaway game. Let's all play at half capacity and just give these guys a chance to get better.
Good on the Pirates. I mean, Eric Gonzalez pulled off a Tatis-like play to get the second run.
That's true.
Part of it was I think it was a ground ball. Gonzalez was stealing third from he was on second, stealing third, ground ball to the right side of the infield. Cronenworth did not aggressively throw it at Hosmer, and Gonzalez immediately picked up on that and just like, I'm gonna go home. And really, I mean, Hosmer did a pretty decent throw. But that lob that Cronenworth gave to Hosmer gave Gonzalez enough time to get from second to home on a ground ball in the infield. And so, I mean, that's aggressive baseball. It's fun baseball. I hate to see it done to us, but Pirates, I think, deserve to win.
They deserve to do that.
Yeah.
You can't fault a player for doing be aggressive base running. You just can't. That was totally on Cronenworth. And Cronenworth is still young. This is only his second year in the majors.
And you don't think that someone's going to actually do that.
Yeah.
You know, that's why Tatis gets away with it so much because you can't he's not going to do this, right? No, he does. And so it is what it is. You know, it's
exactly
2-1. Kim made some nice defensive plays again at shortstop. You know, he went from slid over. Tatis had the day off. If you have a chance to kind of show how special a player Kim is, watch the play where it's on the MLB replay videos. There's a hot shot to Manny Machado. Manny Machado eats up Manny Machado, and the ball gets behind Manny. The runner on first was running and gets the second, and the guy's like, I'm going to bolt to third because I see Manny bobble the ball. Kim runs behind Manny, slides, catches, comes up, perfect throw to Manny, gets the runner at third. And just like a beautiful fluid fielder motion because Kim is also super fast. So he got the ball super quickly, fielded it well, threw well, and got the out at third. You know, saved Manny's back. Like it was really, really cool. And I think, I mean, we're big fans of Ha-Seong Kim, and we'll continue to be as long as he makes those plays.
Exactly. Yes,
So,
exactly.
James, the final game of the week 5, the merciless Mercenaries come into town once again to visit San Diego Padres. Of course, the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Did you write these down beforehand?
No. Literally while you were talking, I was thinking about them. Merciless Mercenaries might be the best one. Anyway.
Okay, yes, I will. I will tip my cap to merciless mercenaries.
But though they lack in mercy, they also lack in winning because we win 4-2. The San Diego Padres defeat them. The Pittsburgh Pirates had 2 runs on 7 hits on 4 errors. A lot of errors. Eric Gonzalez had 3 of them. Poor guy.
Eric Gonzalez, to quote Mark Grant, did not have a good day in the majors.
That's the wrong way to emulate Tatis.
Exactly.
That's the wrong way. Oh, he'll get better. And the Padres had 4 runs on 9 hits. Craig Stammen gets the win after a Yu Darvish start. Yu Darvish left the game and tied, so did not get the victory, but kept us in the game. Darvish was disappointed in himself because he only pitched 5.2 innings and gave up only 2 runs on 8 strikeouts. You know when you're disappointed when you do that, James?
Yeah, no. It's like,
You know,
I would treat myself to steak dinner. Yeah. But, what do I know?
There's going to come a time, as it's most baseball fans, that we're going to look back and be like, wow, I wish we had a guy that went 5.2 innings and allowed 2 runs.
And struck out 8. Yeah.
It was, yeah. It was awesome. I love watching Darvish pitch. Any thoughts about this game, James?
So, Darvish didn't have it today, quote unquote, if you listen to Darvish. And he still dominated.
Right.
No, I mean, it was. Our offense did get timely hits.
Yes.
Here is, I don't understand about Major League Baseball. All right, the rule: Darvish left at a tie game.
Right.
The next inning, the next half inning,
right,
the Padres took the lead.
Right.
Back. Shouldn't Darvish get the win because he pitched up until that point? So technically, he was still winning before another pitcher came in. The Padres were winning when another pitcher came in. I just don't understand why Darvish didn't. It just doesn't make any sense because to me, I think he pitched up to a tie. The Padres, there still hasn't been another pitcher
right
in the game. He's still the only pitcher of record, and the Padres are winning by the time he leaves.
Yeah, I think it's well. So Craig Stammen did come in to relieve Darvish to the tie. He pitched in the 6th inning. He came in.
Did he come in?
Yeah,
he did relieve him.
But it's still. So I will say it is still weird. And the thought is originally because this wins. This is why. I mean, this is like advanced analytics people is like we should just disregard wins completely, because if you can get a guy who can pitch 6 innings and get you a tie of 1 run every game, he's worth money.
Yeah, exactly.
It's worth, and it may not get a W, but guess what? You don't care. Like his ERA is low. He pitched lots of innings. I don't care. Like it's up to offense to make it better, but that's not the define. Like I don't think famously Jacob deGrom does this all the time. Like Jacob deGrom has won the Cy Young with more losses than wins, right? And because this stuff happens to good pitchers, the offense doesn't pick up in time when they leave. They're either they're either losing and or they're tied. And I think the idea originally was you are the pitcher that has kept them at bay while your team is winning. That's the heart of the win-loss idea. And it's an old stat. It's never going to change. So
yeah,
that's
true.
why, I mean, end of the day is like, that's a start you'll take every time. If you could guarantee Yu Darvish will give us 5.2 at the very minimum of 1-run, 2-run baseball, you're just going to take it.
Yeah, I know. It just doesn't.
It's a weird. It's
a weird stat because
especially nowadays, especially now
with so many advanced analytics and all that kind of stuff. I think he just deserved the win. He outpitched. Yeah, and Stammen did. He pitched until a tie. The win stat is weird, and I remember people making this argument last year about Darvish, why he should have won over Bauer, because in reality he pitched better than Bauer. Bauer just had a better record.
Yeah, I mean, old school voters like win-losses. They do like win-loss records. So, but it's the game we play. We'll keep around old stats and having new stats, James. Speaking of new stats, Caratini had a solo shot. Manny Machado gave him a big, huge hug. He had the day off because Ha-Seong Kim was on third. Manny Machado was then sprayed down the bats. He was trying to wake the bats up. He had a pile of bats in the dugout. He was spraying stuff on it. Pretty funny. Will Myers, Cinco de Myers, it was May 5th, of course. That's not a real holiday. And had an RBI single. Jake Cronenworth, as he mentioned earlier, had a timely hit. And Marcus Melanson, his name's not Marcus, Mark Melanson, 11th save. Now being Major League lead of 11 saves on the season.
Manny Machado hit a milestone in his career, his first ever pinch hit.
How many times do you think he's pitch hit before?
4 times. They said so on the TV.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, we won 4-2. I'll take those victories all day, every day. I really hope next homestand our bats are better because the Padres are hitting, let me get the stats right. Hitting 211, 299, and 312 at Petco Park. On the road, they're hitting 251, 332, and getting on base at 407. That is a remarkably big difference.
Yes.
Very bad. But everyone's bad. And just to show kind of like how great of a complete ball, because even though we're not doing well, we're doing very well, right? We're second worst in OPS, which is on base plus slugging. We're second worst in slugging, most errors in National League, most innings pitched by bullpen. Fernando Tatis had a shoulder injury. Nelson Lamet has only pitched 4 innings this season. Chris Paddock is still on the IL. Mike Clevenger and Morahone, and we've talked about injuries woes before. All of that being said, we're tied most in wins in the National League. That's via Danny Vietti on Twitter, and I think that's showcases a good team.
We're tied for
most wins in the National League.
And we're half a game back behind the Giants.
Yes. We've also played more games than the Giants.
We've also played more games than everybody else.
Right.
That's why we're,
Thank God for today's rest day. I think it all evens out. But
yeah, exactly. It just seems we just need to wake up our bats. That's the only thing. But again, nobody's hitting well.
Yeah.
Even the teams that are doing well are behind what they usually would be. Again, listen to our previous episode where we talk about the new ball and the new. It's just problems.
Yep.
I do think the Padres will snap out of it. We're too good of a hitting team not to. At least we'll start getting more singles. And honestly, I think Colorado might wake up. We always do well in Colorado, but so do the Rockies because they're just.
Yeah. But James, this past series, you and I both said 4-2.
We did indeed, and we were both correct.
We were 4-2. James, looking forward, the San Francisco Giants welcome us into the Bay for 3 games, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And as you mentioned previously, we'll then after that go to the Mile High Stadium of Colorado, of Coors Field, for 3 more games. What, James, do you think? How well do you think we're going to do?
I'm going to call 4-2 again. The Giants are too good of a team. I don't think we'll sweep them.
We're facing Gosman again on Saturday.
He's a good. So we're
and
gonna.
Descalfani, who we beat up last time.
Yeah, we're gonna throw. Snell is on Friday. Musgrove will be on Saturday. Probably Lamet or Weathers on Sunday.
Yeah, I would think so. I think if I'm the Padres, I probably put Lamet on Monday versus Colorado. I think his stuff plays better.
So Weathers on Sunday, Lamet in Colorado, Darvish again, Snell again in Colorado. Again, the problem is Colorado. It always is. Because we could sweep the Giants.
Yeah.
And Colorado is not a good team, can sweep us because they'll have an inning, we'll hit 10 home runs.
It's just cartoonish. It's just.
Was it 2019 where the Padres and the Rockies set the record for most home runs in a series?
And at 64 plus runs combined?
Yeah, a 4-game series.
Oh my goodness.
There was something like 23 home runs hit between both teams. We split the series 2-2. It was like watching Home Run Derby, and this is 2019. A lot of the Padres are still on that team that are in this our lineup.
My problem with with watching Coors Field is just there's never a sense of safety.
No,
There's never-
You could be up by 12 runs. Like, well, that's easily obtainable.
It just never because it's if a hitter gets you can get 10 bloop singles because what happens is in Colorado everyone plays super deep because it's a very big outfield and because people can drive the ball. But let's say if you're a really good pitcher, which often happens, coming to Colorado and you are making good pitches, but these hitters are just blooping them. You can just see 10 bloop singles and that ruins your day.
Oh, absolutely.
And then you also have a problem where breaking pitches don't break that well. So you come into town, you're a breaking ball pitcher, and all of a sudden, none of your stuff works. And it's just, I'm curious to see what our back end of our bullpen looks like because so many of our guys rely on hard curve balls. You have Pierce Johnson, hard curve. You have Melanson. You have Pom Pom, and you have Kella. All guys that use like sharp, hard dropping curveballs. And maybe those translate okay, but you just think, oh, if those aren't biting, those are just, I don't know. It's just such a crapshoot, dude. It's such a crapshoot.
It really is.
I think it should be 4-2, but I wouldn't be surprised if exactly what happens, what you said happened. We sweep the Giants, we go to Colorado, and it's just,
I think 4-2. I think we take 2 from the Giants. We take 2 from the Rockies. It's a safe bet. We're definitely better than both those teams. But Colorado's always just, you never know. You never know with Colorado, and it's all. That's why Colorado will never be. They'll never have 100-loss season because they still have to play half their games in Colorado, and they'll always be.
There's always a gambler's chance.
Yes, they'll always be half their game. They'll always have a good offense at home. That's just the simple fact of the matter. Anyways, I think 4-2 would be the safe bet. I think the Padres will. Padres are currently firmly in second place. We're a half a game behind first. I think if we leave San Francisco winning our division by 1 game or 2, that'd be the best place for us. And if we can go through Colorado and only and win 2 games, if we can end the ideal thing, if we come back Thursday and we're first in our division, that's what I want.
That's great, James. I agree. I love that. It's a good week of baseball. Looking forward to more baseball. And yeah, it's going to be an awesome time. James, remember to like us on YouTube. Remember to subscribe.
Hit the notification bell.
Remember to follow us on Twitter. We're at Brothers Padre. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Overcast. We're on them all. We're legit. We're the real deal. We're the real deal.
We are.
And remember to comment what your favorite pun was about the name of the Pittsburgh Pirates. And yeah.
What were they again? Quickly.
The Criminals of the Allegheny River.
Okay.
The Merciless Mercenaries.
Uh-huh.
What was the second one? What was the second one?
Well, that's why you should have written them down.
That's why we write a note. Okay.
That's why we take notes. All right, ladies and gentlemen. See you next week.
Till next time. Bye.
Bye.
There it is. Ho ho, doctor! You can hang a star on that, baby.